Friedman in Washington, D.C., Provident in Chicago, and Lincoln in New York were among just a handful of hospitals, black hospitals, that were little islands of healing for the black community during the flu of 1918. Welcome to Finding God in the Times of COVID. Today's February the 1st, 2021, and it's the first day of Black History Month. So, as we're gathered here today, we tend to pay attention to the history of our black siblings over the course of a month, setting aside this little bit of time to recognize all of the contributions and the strength and the plight of our black siblings. Blacks during the flu of 1918 faced a similar dynamic to unequal treatment and unequal access to healthcare based on the racial systemic challenges of their day and of ours. Blacks had more difficulty accessing healthcare during the 1918 pandemic, in large part because of these Jim Crow laws, state and local laws that were in place from the end of the Civil War until 1968 that legalized segregation and the unequal treatment of our black brothers and sisters. And yet, in the midst of it, our black siblings maintained their strength and resiliency in facing adversity like the flu of 1918. Blacks tended to not have that same access to healthcare. They tended to, when stricken by the flu of 1918, tended to receive care at home, as they couldn't enter into most hospitals and care facilities. Segregation continuing to treat black brothers and sisters as unequal, and the people who were involved in the maintenance of segregation, of course, as the actors in that. So, as we begin Black History Month, a little look at parallel inequalities between the 1918 pandemic and COVID-19, so that history might not repeat itself. Perhaps there are things that we can do to work toward equal access to healthcare for all people in our countries. Local organizations work on it. The Poor People's Campaign, as a local and national organization in this country, the Vermont Workers Center, seeking to not allow history to repeat itself, and perhaps based on a principle like this one from Howard Thurman: if I knew you and you knew me, and each of us could clearly see by the inner light divine, I'm sure that we would differ less and clasp our hands in friendliness if you knew me and I knew you. Blessings on your day.